Yo, YouTube, it's your boy Premier, back today with another banger, and in today's video we will be going over one of the best builds that you probably never heard of in NBA 2K20, a glass cleaning finisher. But before we get too far into the build, Premier Worldwide, I already know you're good for it, but if you're new, smash that like button, drop a nice comment below, subscribe if you're new. Right now we're on the grind to 5,000 subscribers. I drop daily uploads on this channel, so make sure to turn those post notifications on if you're new. Now, to get started here with this build, first things first, go ahead and make it a power forward. If you make it a center, you know, it is going to be a good build, but I do recommend the power forward version. By the way, at the end of this video, I will be breaking down the best badges I recommend for this build. Next though, to get started with the skill breakdown, make sure you select the skill breakdown with the most defense and the most finishing. Get a good look at these attribute caps. You can compare it to the all finishing or you can compare it to the all defense. I do recommend this version because especially when you hit 99.9, the stats are going to be crazy. Next, to get started with the physical profile though, you do want to go ahead and scroll down. If I'm not mistaken, let me find it here. Yeah, it's this one here with the 90 strength. And the reason I recommend the 90 strength version of this build, look at the vertical, look at the speed, look at the acceleration bonuses compared to if you just select the one with the 95 strength and the whatever vertical it is. This one is a lot better overall. It's a lot better when you hit 99.9 and have Gym Rat. You're gonna get a +9 to all your physicals. It's going to be a 99 strength. That's going to be really OP on this build, not to mention the speed, acceleration, vertical. This build can honestly do it all at 99.9. Next, to get started on these attribute caps though, go ahead and upgrade your close shot, max out your driving layup, driving dunk, standing dunk, max out your post hook as well. Then I do want you to go ahead and drop your close shot down to an 85 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, if you only drop it down to an 85, you want to get the maximum amount of finishing badges for this build. Next, for the playmaking, I want you to go ahead and max out your pass accuracy, max out your post moves as well. You do have to max it out all the way. That way you get the 10 playmaking badges for this build, which is going to be honestly OP. But if you upgrade the ball control and you try to drop the pass accuracy, you're just going to end up spending a ton of attribute upgrades, and it's honestly not worth it in the long run because how many defense and rebounding badges you're about to get. Next, we're going to go ahead and move on to the defense and rebounding though. You can only go ahead and upgrade your interior defense to a 75. Then from there, max out your perimeter, lateral quickness, max out your, no, you cannot max out your steal. It was only a 46. I was able to upgrade it to. Max out your block, defense and rebounding, and offense and rebounding. The reason you only want to upgrade your steal and your interior defense to a 75 here on the interior defense. Steal you could upgrade, honestly, if you don't care about the playmaking badges, but you can only upgrade your interior defense to a 75 to get it to be called a glass cleaning finisher. And honestly, look at this. This is like a dominant interior that can play good defense. A lot of these interiors get babied. This interior will be so dominant. It gets all the contact dunks. You get the 90 driving dunk. You get all the good dunk packages. Like, this build's gonna be a beast, especially when you throw on this burly body shape. Burly body shape is the way you want to go. Next, for the height here, you can look at 6'10". Honestly, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think you can do 6'10". Somebody quote me in the comments. For this build to be called a glass cleaning finisher, I'm 99% sure it has to be 6'9". And honestly, 6'9's attributes are crazy OP at 99.9. Not to mention, even like default stats are insane. Next, for the weight on this build, go ahead, you can get a good look at it. The higher weight here on this build, if you don't care about it being called a glass cleaning finisher, and you just want like a dominant interior build that can kind of do it all, you can raise the weight on this build. Before it be called a glass cleaning finisher, leave the weight at default. Next, at the wingspan, for it to be called a glass cleaning finisher, yes, the build looks better with longer arms. I know you're going to be trolling me, going in on me in the comment section about that. Before this build to be called a glass cleaning finisher, you need to go ahead and leave these arms here at default, and honestly, it is worth it. I'm telling you, this build right here is going to catch almost every single oop. When you have all the way maxed out arms, I don't know if you know this or not, but it actually hurts your chances to catch every single oop, especially when you're going against a dominant interior big with like rim protector takeover or something like that. Now, for the moment of truth, to get started here on the takeover, honestly, the takeover is really going to be up to you and what you want to do on your build. Rim protector takeover is good, post score takeover is good, glass cleaning takeover is good. But for this build, I recommend slashing takeover. You get all the contact dunks, and look, you are a glass cleaning finisher similar to Sean Kim, similar to Zion Williamson, similar to Anthony Davis. I don't know if you know who these three names are. Well, of course you do. These are three of the most dominant big men in the history of the league. Sean Kemp is a prolific dunker. Zion Williamson is a beast on the come up, and then Anthony Davis is a superstar. This build right here is a Demi at 99.9. This build right here is a much better version of the interior. A lot of the interior builds you see have very weak interior defense, and they get babied. This interior finisher type build, even though it's called a glass cleaning finisher, this build right here will be really good for grinding rep because it's just like an interior, and you get the rep for it since you have slasher in your build. But yeah, that is all for the actual build side of this video. From here, I am going to do a breakdown on the badges I recommend. I'm going to go over the finishing, I'm going to go over the shooting, I'm going to go over the playmaking, and I'm going to go over all the defense and rebounding badges I recommend for this build. Now, to get started here, first things first, of course, go ahead and make it 99 if you actually plan on going and testing it and playing a game. Next, to get started with the finishing, go ahead and get a good look here at Hall of Fame contact finisher, very needed for this build. Hall of Fame fancy footwork. You can look at Hall of Fame Pro Touch, don't think it's really needed. Hall of Fame slithery finisher, because you're going to need Hall of Fame Lob City, and you're just not going to have the points after you end up doing like a Hall of Fame Giant Slayer here. You could do like a silver relentless as well. Honestly, that's really up to you. You could even look at a silver here with Giant, Pro Touch, and Relentless. It's all on your play style and what you're going to be focused on with this build. And speaking of what you're focused on, if you are going to be focused on the 1v1 court, there is another badge setup I'm going to get to in a second. Honestly though, just one last thing here, you could do like a gold Giant Slayer Relentless kind of on bronze. It's really just up to you though. For the 1v1 court setup I recommend, yes, I do recommend keeping Hall of Fame fancy. I do recommend putting on gold back down punisher and gold deep hooks. With the post hook you have on this build, it's going to be really OP. However, I do recommend dropping down the fancy 2 Hall of Fame. Honestly, the Hall of Fame deep post hooks, it's just such a bail. Honestly, you can hit 100% smothers in their face if you have on the right animations and if you have the right badges, and then of course if you have the right attributes for your build, you're not going to be able to stop the post hook. It's so OP. So yeah, that right there is the best finishing badges I recommend for the 1v1 court. If you want like the best lob animations, well, actually just rewind the video if you need it. Slithery off ball or quick draw, just throw on Jumpshot 38. It's really just up to you what you're going to use on this build. Next, put on gold quick first step, gold post spin technician. Honestly, you could do like a gold unpluggable, it's just kind of unneeded. I recommend silver at highest, silver bailout. Actually, hold up, I did forget, you do end up needing downhill on this build. You're gonna need bailout. Probably gonna end up having to drop bailout down to like bronze. Post spin technician is such a bail, especially with the post hooks. Just down in the post this year is so cheesy. This right here is the final best playmaking badges I recommend for that build. Next though, for the defensive, this is where it's gonna get kind of like what you want on your build. I recommend bronze chase down, bronze clamp, Hall of Fame Intimidator, Hall of Fame Rim Protector, Hall of Fame Pogo Stick, Hall of Fame Rebound Chaser. Now, we got 2 left here. For the last 2, it's really just your play style and what you're gonna do. Honestly, when I really sit here and look at it, if you're gonna be playing with screens, you are gonna need gold brick wall. If you're just gonna be sitting on the block, if you're playing with a really good point guard, you can go ahead and take the brick wall down. Honestly, you really don't need it if you're gonna be playing with a really good point guard. Go ahead and upgrade those back to Hall of Fame. Then you could put your chase down on silver. This is a really nice setup for like the 1v1 court, by the way. But yeah, that is all for the badges. That's all for the build. Let me know what you think of it down below. Let me know if you have any questions as well. Real quick though, before I go, Premier Worldwide, what did you think of this? Should I start doing the badges with the build? Let me know what you think of that down below. But don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Make sure to cut those post notifications on. It's your boy Premier, and I'm out. Peace!